and welcome to my running lab. I'm Dylan and today I'm talking about the Salomon Sense Ride 4. In my opinion, Salomon are really well known at developing technical trail running shoes with locked in fits and really slick designs. But at the same time, they're also known to be a brand that is firm, fairly narrow, and sometimes falls short on optimal mileage. So let's consider all these factors and talk about this shoe here, the Sense Ride 4. Within the Salomon stables, the Sense Ride 4 is their daily trainer. It's an all-rounder, one shoe that can do it all. It weighs in at 290 grams, but certainly doesn't feel like it as it's agile and nimble on the trails. If you compare it against something similar like the Brooks Cascadia, which is similar spec'd and weighted, the Sense Ride is more compact, more agile, and a lot more speed capable, but also firmer and less forgiving than some of its competitors, not to mention narrower. In the Salomon technical running range, the Sense Ride lies pretty much bang in the middle in terms of capabilities and cushioning. Above it lies shoes like the S-Lab Ultra 3, which is beefier and more supportive, so better for ultra distance. And alongside that is the Ultra Glide, Salomon's recent answer to everything the brand isn't well known for, and that's a soft, well-cushioned, rockered shoe and one that's fairly accommodating in terms of width. Below the Sense Ride is the Sense Pro, its lighter weight sibling with a lower stack and lower profile. Perfect if you're looking for a lightweight racer trainer. Alongside that are your pure racing models, including the S-Lab Pulsar, the new addition to the range, which is designed for less technical dry trails like the Sierra. Alongside that is the heritage model, the S-Lab Sense 8, designed for technical terrain and technical races, and it comes in both a soft and hard ground version. As a background, Salomon have three primary outsole options, including the Contagrip TA, which is the stickiest but least durable, and then on the other end of the spectrum, the Contagrip MD, which is the least sticky but most durable. The Contagrip MD outsole, which the Sense Ride has, falls right in the middle in terms of durability and stickiness. This tread pattern is moderately exposed so that it can handle a variety of surfaces, whereas some other Salomon shoes have soft and firm ground versions which affect how firm and how long the lug length is. Moving to the midsole of the shoe, and you'll have Salomon's OptiVibe cushioning, one of the firmer feeling foams on the market, but firmer in a good way. You see, unlike your road running shoes which have these soft, squishy foams, your more responsive trail shoes are going to be your firmer feeling shoes, and this is something you'll find across Salomon's range. Now, what a firmer feeling cushioning or foam will do is give you better proprioceptive feeling of the ground beneath you, and this helps you run with a more nimble and agile stride. I must say, no other brand allows me to be more in control of my footing and more agile through technical terrain than Salomon does. And I think a large part of this has to do with this design of having firmer cushioning, a nice lockdown, and a not so stacked cushioning design. The Sense Ride 4 is a regular to narrow fit. It's not quite as accommodating as some of its counterparts in the market, but it's certainly not as narrow as its own S-Lab Sense 8. At the arch, you won't find a lot of contouring or support, so this won't suit every runner. Some cool innovation that Salomon have done with their midsole cushioning has to do with what we call vibration reduction. Basically, when you land, your body needs to dissipate micro vibrations that get sent up the body that occur with impact. The goal is to dissipate these vibrations before they reach our head. Our bodies are really good at doing this, but what does happen is that muscle, tendon, adipose tissue, and fascia absorb these vibrations and dissipate them while we run, causing these tissues to in turn undergo damage. So what Salomon have done is research how their midsoles can reduce the vibrations that our tissues have to undergo, and in turn reduce the amount of damage that they have to undergo.
You know, vibration is the one thing we don't talk about very much, and yet we know it's about 35% of all of the impact load of running. So the engineering in these materials is unique. It utilizes a combination of lightweight cushion materials to reduce vibration and help energy return.
I'm not sure how scientific or how bulletproof the science is, but it is still nice to know that Salomon are that detail orientated in terms of their tech. In terms of the lacing, Salomon have mastered speed lacing like no other brand has. The combination of the shape of the shoe as well as this lacing system gives you a locked-in feel that is non-existent in other brands. I do hope that Salomon add this lace keeper on top of the laces like they did in the Ultra Pro 3, as it seems to be working really nicely there. In terms of the upper, we have two components. We have an endoskeleton and an exoskeleton. The endoskeleton is comprised of this internal sleeve which hugs your foot to give you a nice lockdown while simultaneously keeping debris from getting inside your shoe. This external or exoskeleton is your main component here. It's comprised of this toe guard and laminated areas that give you a nice locked-in feel while also protecting your foot and preventing scuffing. Now, I must say that this protection up front's good, but just on this lateral end so where your small toe would lie, it's slightly exposed. Not a big deal, but it is something to consider. The Sense Ride is also available in a Gore-tex waterproof version. Now, something to keep in mind when deciding whether to go Gore-tex or non-Gore-tex is to remember that while Gore-tex prevents water from getting in to a degree, it also prevents water from escaping as easily. So if you are running in wet conditions but still in a hot climate, you might not necessarily want to go Gore-tex, and it also prevents your foot from airing as much, so it does get quite hot. This version of the Sense Ride will keep the loyalists happy. It remains the true Sense Ride that you used to, except with a simpler, neater upper. It consists of a single layer mesh rather than the over-constructed double layer mesh from V3, and then also deconstructs the heel a little bit with less padding. Again, going back to the Sense Ride 1 roots. So in conclusion, the Sense Ride 4 is a great all-rounder for a beginner or a seasoned runner. It sits below Salomon's premium category, the S-Lab range in price, yet the shoe is superbly technical and it's excellent in terms of value for money. When you're purchasing the shoe, you should have performance in mind, as it's a nimble, agile shoe with a great lockdown that really allows you to throw the hammer down in terms of technical trail. You'll have a good sense of the surface beneath you while still having enough cushioning to take the shoe the distance. Is it an ultra running shoe? Probably not for most runners. The cost of being a performance-driven brand is that the shoe doesn't necessarily offer the best arch support for those needing it. It's also not a soft, squishy hoka that you can wear all day long in. If you are getting the shoe just for Jeep truck running, not too much technical running, I would suggest pinning it against the Salomon Ultra Glide, which is a little bit softer and more forgiving underfoot. Now, I think as a Salomon shoe, I am quite optimistic in terms of the shoe's mileage, but I am still wary that this forefoot section may bottom out a little bit quicker than some of its competitors on the market. But I do think that this is the price you pay for such a performance specialty brand. Thank you very much for watching this week's video, and let me know what you think down in the comments below. Should you be a Salomon wearer or Salomon fan? And we'll chat next week. Cheers, bye.